Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Carnivore Josh. So, I actually finished recording this video already. I was outside and I was about to finish recording. It was like 10 minutes long, but it was so hot outside that my phone overheated and just completely shut down, and the whole video ended up getting deleted. So, I gotta record this again. Kind of sucks, but it's whatever. Yeah, so basically, I just want to go over like my story, why I started carnivore, and why I decided to start a YouTube channel. So, thank you guys for coming, stopping by, watching my videos. Appreciate it. If you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe, that would help out a lot. But yeah, anyways, so where do we begin? I guess, so as a kid, I always ate so much junk food. I was obsessed with sweets. So in elementary school, my parents would always get me whatever I wanted, and I would eat whatever I wanted, and just I always had a fast metabolism, so I never really gained weight or anything, and I always looked scrawny and small, and I was never obese. And so I had never thought about how unhealthy I could be because I wasn't getting fat, and I associated being fat with unhealthiness, even though I was being so unhealthy. But anyways, yeah, so I distinctly remember one day where I ate a whole box of donuts. I think it was an 8 count box by myself. And I got so constipated to the point that I had to go to the doctor and get medication, and they had to help me with that problem. And so, yeah, after that, nothing stopped me. I would just always eat whatever I wanted. Um, Pizza, donuts, candy, sugar, just really anything I wanted. I was so unhealthy as a kid, and um, I was always bullied as well. I was bullied a lot in elementary school. People would pick on me because I was always so scrawny. My arms were literally like noodles, and I was very short. I was like 4 foot 12, 5 foot, and just very skinny, like 60, 70, 80 pounds around there. And yeah, so I was bullied a lot through school, and it got to a point where I reached high school, freshman year, and I decided I wanted to try to change things, change my life around. And so, freshman year, I started lifting weights, I started working out, and um, diet and cooking was never really my thing. I didn't like cooking, so I moved from one unhealthy thing to another, and I started getting processed junk food, microwave foods, Hungry Man's, just things like that. And so I started really getting obsessed with bulking and putting on as much muscle and weight as I could because I was tired of being skinny my whole life. And so throughout my fitness journey through high school, I put on so much weight and maybe a decent amount of muscle, but you could just tell that from my face I was so inflamed. I had a lot of acne, especially on my back and my face and my skin, and I had this rash that's been on my stomach my whole life, probably because of inflammation. And so I just I was destroying my body without even knowing it. I wasn't paying attention, and I gained a lot of weight. I got to 165 pounds by senior year high school, and put on a decent amount of muscle. I wasn't skinny anymore, that's for sure. So, but yeah, I just kept pounding down the processed microwave food and microwave broccoli and microwave meatloaf and macaroni and cheese and Mexican chimichangas and stuff and Mexican and Chinese food, and with every single meal I would always have hot sauce. I would add hot sauce to literally everything. And so my lifestyle was okay, but my diet was trash. And I just kept eating so much junk until the point that I started developing symptoms of acid reflux around 2018, 2018-ish, 2019-ish. So the first thing I started feeling was I started having trouble with my workouts. I started running out of breath quicker, having a hard time pushing myself, having trouble swallowing, feeling like there's something stuck in my throat or something coming up and burning, my heartburn, just stuff like that. And so I was kind of worried about it, but I never really cared enough to figure out what it was. I thought I was just going through something, some changes. And so I just kept going on with my fitness journey and trying to put on as much size as I can and not be skinny anymore. And so, yeah, my acid reflux got really bad to the point that around late 2019, 2020-ish, around COVID, I started getting severe acid reflux. It was getting so bad. I was running out of breath mid-workout. I couldn't finish my workouts. I was feeling nauseous all the time. Uh, I had to use my grandmother's inhaler sometimes because it would help me catch my breath, and just a lot of problems with heartburn and nauseousness and bloating, and it was just getting so bad. And one day it got so bad to the point that I was in the middle of a workout and I couldn't take it anymore. I started getting super bloated and nauseous and having trouble breathing. I had to take the inhaler, and I was like, I can't deal with this anymore. I don't know what's going on with me. So I decided to finally go check in at the urgent care, and they said I was fine. They diagnosed me with sinusitis, and which wasn't even what I had at all. So they diagnosed me with something, and they sent me out with some medication. I can't remember what it was, and I just went back to my normal life. And so a few months go by, and it just every day is torture. Every day is suffering, and eventually, like, I'm just going mad. I'm depressed because think about it like when you eat a whole buffet, like you eat as much as you can, you're so stuffed and full that you feel like you're gonna vomit. Imagine feeling like that 24/7. Like you just feel disgusting and bloated and nauseous and heartburn. You can't breathe. Your throat feels like you're having an allergic reaction. You can't swallow. It's just terrible. And so I went back to the doctor again, same urgent care, and different doctor. And this doctor prescribed me with what I have today, which is called GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease. And so he finally gave me what I thought was the right diagnosis, a correct diagnosis. And so he prescribed me medicine, and I went home, and it was at this point that I had to stop working out completely. I could not lift weights. I could not bend over without wanting to vomit. and I had to quit my job. I think I was working at UPS at the time, so I had to quit my job. I had to stop working out, and I had to put my life on hold basically for the next 2 years. And so I took the medicine. He gave me a whole packet full of information on dietary changes and what I was supposed to eat and stuff. And so I was reading through it, and it was just telling me to eat things like fiber, eat lots of fiber, eat lots of oatmeal, lots of vegetables, um, rice, potatoes, plain chicken, pl- plain meat, and just like a plain Jane diet with no spices and like not too much meat, a little bit of chicken, but mostly grains and vegetables and fruit. And so, yeah, I followed that for a while. Didn't help at all. I got worse. And so one day I was just suffering so bad, and I was feeling so sick that I told my grandmother that I need to go to the hospital. So she took me to the hospital, and they pumped me full of anti-nausea medication and gave me some IV fluids because at this point I wasn't eating anything. Any anything I ate would make me super bloated and nauseous. So at this point I was basically starving myself to death. The only things I could remember that wouldn't affect me like terribly was like I would just munch on some deli meats like beef or ham and maybe some chicken noodle soup every now and then. But that's all I was basically living on. And maybe a little bit of rice just to get some calories, some carbs to help keep me alive. But I really couldn't eat anything, even stuff that was on the list that my doctor told me to eat. And so after I went to the hospital, they said there was really nothing they could do for me, that I would just have to take this medication for the rest of my life. They prescribed me with proton pump inhibitors, which is an acid medication, and it basically lowers the acid content in your stomach and keeps it from coming up in your throat. And so I took that for a long time. Made things worse because my stomach had less acid. It was even harder to digest anything I ate. So I just felt sluggish, and super slow and bloated all the time. Just the nauseousness went down a little bit, but everything else got worse. And the breathing was still hard, and everything was just, it didn't help at all. The acid medication didn't help at all for my GERD. And so I think it was about a year and a half in after it got real bad, 2021, 2021-ish, 2022, somewhere around there. And yeah, I started doing research and trying to figure out how to cure this damn disease, how to get rid of my symptoms. Turns out I had 3 different chronic illnesses. I had GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, LPR, laryngeal esophageal reflux disease, and chronic gastritis, which is inflammation of the gut. And so, yeah, I had 3 different problems. My digestion was completely destroyed at this point. After my whole life of eating crap and then taking medication that made my stomach not do its job. I just got so bad. And so at this point, I've been suffering for over a year and a half. My depression got so bad. I was so sad with my life. I couldn't leave the house. I couldn't go shopping without feeling nauseous, feeling sick. I was almost bedridden every single day. I had trouble breathing. I was starving to death. I dropped down all the way to 115 pounds, and I'm 5'5", 5'6", and I previously weighed 165 pounds. So my life was going down the drain. And so at first I came across Dr. Paul Saladino and then Dr. Ken Berry, and I started doing some research on YouTube and just learning about different things, and I came across the carnivore diet, like most of you probably did, searching for answers to your problems. And so I did research on this for a while, months and months and months, how to do it properly, and came across doctors like Anthony Chaffee and Dr. Bart Kay and so many different carnivore influencers, and I just saw that everybody was doing so good on this diet. People were curing mental issues, digestive issues, cancer, diabetes, joint issues, all kinds of things. And so one day after I had another bad GERD flare up, I was sitting there taking my inhaler because I was choking to death. I couldn't breathe. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try it. So at that point, I wasn't eating really anything. I was starving, just eating chicken noodle soup and stuff. And I went into the carnivore diet cold turkey. Because one thing I noticed before I started is that, like I said with the deli meat, anytime I ate like animal products or meat products, it never upsetted me. It never made my GERD flare up at all. And so I kind of had that at the back of my head, and that kind of pushed me to do this. And so here I was starting the carnivore diet. The first week, I remember, was probably the happiest week of my life. The first week, my symptoms started going away. I wasn't feeling nauseous anymore. I was able to, like do basic tasks and stuff without feeling sick all the time. I was even able to start going out to the grocery store and able to go out and start hanging out with friends and seeing family. And it just changed my life. I was so happy that I could finally do stuff again. And after the first week, I started going through the keto flu symptoms. I started going through carb and sugar withdrawals. What basically happens to everybody when they start carnivore. And it lasted for about a month. I had headaches. I had a little bit of trouble sleeping. And then sometimes I slept for 15 hours a day. And then I felt like crap. But my GERD wasn't acting up. I wasn't nauseous. I wasn't bloated. I was able to breathe. I wasn't having heartburn. After so long of suffering, I was so happy to finally be able to do things again. And at the beginning, I was doing a strict carnivore diet, just beef, eggs, and bacon. No dairy, no chicken, no anything else really, just three of the basics. And for the first few months, that's what I did. And in that short amount of time, I experienced the most healing I've ever experienced in my entire life. This lifestyle change, this diet change was saving my life. And so I went from suffering with three chronic illnesses to slowly healing and slowly taking my life back. Eventually, after a few months, I started getting back into the gym. As you can see from my old videos, me documenting my journey. And so I was able to start working out again, slowly but surely getting my strength back. Um, Started going out to hang out with friends more and do things to help with my depression. And I was able to start working again. I got another job, started working at FedEx, and things really just took off from there. Started taking my life back one step at a time. And here I am a year later, 1 year into my carnivore journey, and I almost don't feel my symptoms at all anymore. Unless I cheat, of course. Eat something I'm not supposed to, but apparently these are incurable diseases that I have. And I have seen some people say that they have cured it, but it can come back into remission. So you really have to watch your diet for the rest of your life. And I think after all the years of eating so incredibly bad stuff, that it'll probably take a little bit longer to completely heal my body and heal my gut. Because for 20 years of my life, I ate processed seed oils, grains, sugar, so much crap. And so I think it'll definitely still take some time to heal, but I'm back. I got my life back. I'm not suffering anymore. And I'm just so thankful. Thankful for not just the doctors and the carnivore doctors that helped give information, but you guys, all you people in the carnivore community, all the people that gave me advice and directions and helped me emotionally throughout the way. Thank you guys. And it's very emotional for me because you guys do not want that. You guys do not want to suffer from that. It's some points I wanted to end my life. It's painful, it's torture, and it's suffering. I'll make another I'll make a second part to my GERD video explaining everything about what it is and what it does and how you can get it. But for this video, I just want to keep it around my story. So, yeah, after a year on the carnivore diet, I can confidently say that I'm pretty much healed. I got my life back. I look better than I ever did before. Obviously, I haven't gained all my weight back, but I'm more shredded and lean and a little bit more muscular than I was before, a lot less inflamed. I have no more acne. I have my face is all cleared up. Everything in my life is just coming together. And so again, I want to thank you all, everybody in the carnivore community that helped helped me in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, so anyways, that's my story, guys. And I started this YouTube channel to push myself to learn about this lifestyle, the carnivore diet, and to help other people just like you guys helped me and spread the good word, spread the truth, and just try to help people because so many people are unhealthy and sick today. It's disgusting. And the doctors are lying, prescribing the wrong medication, not knowing anything about how to treat disease. But sometimes it's not their fault because it's the system. They have to learn the way from the system. And just the whole medical system is bullshit. But yeah, that's basically my story, guys. Thank you for watching. I know this video has been kind of long, but I wanted to be honest with y'all, give you some insight into my life. I ate like crap my whole life to the point my body just gave up. And I saved myself. I brought myself back from the trenches with this lifestyle and with the power of God. God led me down this route, no doubt about that. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Um, yeah, thank you.